gentlemen, you're watching Yes.
The Yankees are taking their show on the road. First stop, Cleveland, Ohio, and they're looking to rock and roll at Progressive Field on a day-night doubleheader here in Cleveland as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It'll be the Yankees against the Guardians from Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, everybody. John Flaherty, joined by Jeff Nelson. We have you for the next couple of days. The Yankees have gotten off to a great start this year, as have the Guardians. And a big reason why, Jeff, the Stars have played like stars early on. Juan Soto is certainly a star.
Yeah, I watched Juan Soto since he was with the Nationals, and he just amazes me watching him at the plate. I just saw him against the Marlins. He just marvels me the way he takes pitches. He just goes up and he hunts a certain pitch, and that's exactly what he starts looking for, and he swings. That's a first pitch changeup against Jesus Luzardo. I started thinking of this, who's their player back in our day that he reminds me of? And then it clicked. How about Bernie Williams? Bernie Williams is a guy that sees a lot of pitches per at-bat. He goes up, he hunts a pitch, and that's exactly what Juan Soto has done so far as a Yankee.
Well, you see the numbers in 13 games, the .360 batting average, couple of home runs, 12 RBIs, and the very impressive OPS. I mentioned stars have to play like stars to get off to good starts. Jose Ramirez has been getting it done in Cleveland for a long time.
Right, and how about an intentional walk if he comes up in a situation that can mean the game, whether it's to tie or to take the lead. He's just an amazing player, and he's a Yankee killer. How about 356 in his career versus the Yankees? This is his 12th season as a Guardian. 11 home runs, 32 RBIs, five-time All-Star. He's just been an amazing player for Cleveland. Like I mentioned, he's a guy you do not want to beat you.
Amazing numbers since 2017. The home runs at 199. Look at the RBIs, 636. That is second best behind Jose Abreu. Yankees going to play a day-night doubleheader today. They're going to have to cover 18 innings out on the mound. Clark Schmidt gets the ball in the opener. Our Meredith Marakovitz caught up with pitching coach Matt Blake to talk about Schmidt.
In Cleveland for Game 1 of the doubleheader. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. Game 1 is set to get underway in just a little bit, and when it does, Clark Schmidt will get the ball. I caught up with pitching coach Matt Blake earlier to ask him what he'd like to see from Schmidt this time out.
I think it's important for him to try and get as deep as he can to preserve the bullpen. Obviously, when you play 2 games in one day, it's hard to ask guys to go in both games. So the deeper he can get, the more options we'll have for Game 2, which is important.
What have the conversations been like in trying to get him to that next step of going a little deeper?
Yeah, I think just situational awareness when, what the score presents to us and, how aggressive to be in the zone with certain hitters. I think the last time he pitched a good game, but situationally maybe a little bit too much to the edges early and kind of kept him from going deeper, really.
Interesting note from Aaron Boone during the pregame press conference. Luis Gil, who was supposed to start Game 3 of this series, will now be available out of the bullpen. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, John Flaherty will be joined by Jeff Nelson. First pitch coming your way after the break.
There's some bonus bets guaranteed when they place any $5 bet. And by Hyundai, it's your journey, own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. And by Yale New Haven Health, powering medical breakthroughs. And by the New York Lottery, get out there and play. A beautiful day in Cleveland, Ohio, as the Guardians taking the field for the first game of this day-night doubleheader. Rain out last night. A lot of baseball to be played here this afternoon, Nelly, and 2 teams that have gotten off to some hot starts.
Yeah, they have, and it's exciting. Cleveland has always been a great place and a great tradition for baseball. I remember back in the day when they had great teams, Kenny Lofton, Omar Vizquel, the Albert Bell, where they were selling out over 500 consecutive days, and then the Yankees come into town on this road trip and play a team that's actually got off to a hot start. 9-3. I don't care who they play. They have to beat teams. They played Seattle. They played Minnesota. Minnesota is going to compete in the Central Division of the American League. Seattle out in the West. So you know, a very hot start and very positive for the new manager.
Yeah, rookie
Stephen
manager
Vogt.
Stephen Vogt taking over the Guardians this year. The legendary Terry Francona retiring, and a young 39-year-old ex-catcher, Nelly, managing the Cleveland Guardians.
I don't know why you're in the booth. I don't know why you're not managing, because I think catchers make outstanding managers. You know, you guys see everything on the field. You know the plays. You get the plays from the pitching coach or the manager or the bench coach. I've always thought that catchers make some of the best managers in the game.
We're going to take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by TikTok. Anthony Volpe's going to lead off again. Juan Soto in right field. The DH, Aaron Judge. So Stanton will get the first game off. First base, Anthony Rizzo. Second base, Gleyber Torres. Alex Verdugo out left. Oswaldo Cabrera back in the lineup playing third base. Jose Trevino behind the plate. And Trent Grisham gets the start in center field and bats ninth. The veteran Carlos Carrasco out on the mound. You see the numbers in his 2 starts. Spent the last 3 years with the New York Mets, but back in Cleveland. And the first pitch this afternoon fouled off. And we're going to take a look at the Nissan pitcher scouting report on Carrasco.
The walks. He does walk a lot. Last year, 38 walks in 90 innings. You know, this is his 15th season in the major leagues. All speed. He goes to a lot of off speed, the changeup, the curveball, the slider. He's not overpowering with the fastball. And you just mentioned, Flash, home sweet home.
Fly ball to left field. The easy play for Stephen Kwan. 1 down. We'll take a look at the defense for the Cleveland Guardians, playing behind Carrasco in the first game of this doubleheader. We saw Kwan out in left field. The Gold Glover retired that first fly ball from Anthony Volpe. And we'll get to that defense momentarily as Juan Soto comes up to the plate for his first ever at bat at Progressive Field.
I think this is the last stadium that he has not played in.
We talked about Juan in the open to our show. Has just gotten off to a fantastic start. First couple of weeks as a New York Yankee, and you can take it all the way back to spring training. Nelly, he's been everything that the Yankees would have expected.
Well, he's a difference maker in this lineup, and you throw Alex Verdugo in there as well. But at the top of the lineup, Juan Soto, I think it's resonated throughout the lineup as far as his patience and everybody watching how he works the count. And he hunts for pitches. It's during the Miami series, you know, the home run that he hit.
Here's a defense. Kwan, Freeman, and Brennan in the outfield. Ramirez, Rocchio, Jimenez, Naylor at first base. And you have the brother, Bo Naylor, behind the plate catching Carlos Carrasco. Soto able to foul that pitch off.
You know, the home run that he hit off of Jesus Luzardo, first pitch changeup. A lot of the Marlins were trying to get him out with that off speed, that changeup down the way. He faced 3 lefties, and he just goes up and hunts for a pitch. And if he doesn't get it, he'll take his free pass, and I'm okay with that. It's the guys behind him once he gets on base that needs to do the job.
Swing and a miss. Carrasco off to a good start.
Well, changeup down and in. You see Soto just swinging over top of it, and Carrasco used to have an overpowering fastball, not anymore, 89 to 90. So you'll see a lot of changeups to lefties, a lot of changeups to righties, right on right changeups, the slider and also the curveball.
So with 2 down, he'll face Aaron Judge, the designated hitter in the first game of this doubleheader, and that means Giancarlo Stanton gets the first game off. And Aaron Judge off to a slow start. Still trying to find his timing, and Carrasco quickly ahead with a first pitch strike. A 4-seam fastball at 92 miles an hour. We were told that Carrasco's velocity down a little bit, which you would expect for a 37-year-old veteran pitcher.
His last start, he only lasted 3 innings, 79 pitches, or 78 pitches. 79 in his first outing. So he's probably a guy that you'll see maybe 85 today. See how many he can give the Guardians.
Well, you talk about the Guardians as a whole, a young ball club, and a veteran starter like Carrasco can only help the entire club. As Aaron Judge skies this one to right field, the wind is blowing out. Brennan drifting, and is not going to be able to make the play. as Aaron Judge will be in the second base with a 2-out double. And the wind will definitely be a factor this afternoon.
Flash, that was a fly ball in not shallow right, but about midway in right field. It's a four-seam fastball. And it was a moonshot. You watch where Brennan was, and he just keeps drifting back, and then right off of that screen. I thought it might have had a chance to get out of here once it started blowing towards the right field line.
You see the flags blowing out to right field. A high sky here in Cleveland this afternoon with a breeze and a chilly breeze. Temperature in the 40s. 2 down. It brings up Anthony Rizzo with an RBI opportunity.
That'll get you jump started after a slump, huh? You start not swinging the bat well, all of a sudden you get a wind-blown double. He was 0 for 8 with 8 strikeouts off Carrasco. Judge was.
Had to be an interesting decision for Aaron Boone this afternoon, right? Giancarlo Stanton has really been heating up the last couple of games. Aaron Judge off to a slow start, but Judge gets the DH. Stanton gets the first game off, and I'm sure he'll be back in the lineup for game 2.
Yeah, you hate to have 2 days in a row, and now you had the off day on Thursday, the travel day, and then the rain out last night. You know, when a team starts swinging the bat well, they start playing well. Sometimes you don't even want days off. You just want to go right back and get it going.
3-0 to Rizzo. You'd assume he has the green light. He's not going to be able to do that as that ball gets away from Naylor. Judge to third. Rizzo with a 2-out walk. Well, we're going to take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, the first one, you want to get the first one. Double headers are always, and this is a day night, always tough to sweep. You can't do it unless you win that first, so take advantage. You see Anthony Rizzo walk. During the Miami series, they walked 19 times. Only 2 of those walks have come around the score. They do such a great job of working the count, and they have one of the highest, or the highest, walk rates in baseball. And class dismissed. The one thing that the Yankees don't want to see is Emmanuel Clase come out of the bullpen for the Guardians. He's one of the best closers in the league. He's led the American League in saves in 22 and 23. So leave him down there.
Well, the bullpen for the Guardians, the best in baseball. So you definitely want to take advantage, get to the starting pitchers if you can, as Torres drills one to center field. Freeman underneath it on the track. And Carrasco able to work his way out of trouble. Clark Schmidt will take over when we come back. Second, Jose Ramirez, one of the best hitters in the game, batting third. Josh Naylor, first base, cleaning up. Tyler Freeman in center field. Will Brennan out in right. Bo Naylor behind the plate. Esteban Florial, ex-Yankee, gets the designated hitter spot in game 1. And Brian Rocchio, shortstop, batting 9th. And they will face Clark Schmidt. We'll take a look at his numbers on the year and a couple of starts that he has. That 4.66 ERA. Take a look at the scatter report brought to you by Nissan.
More heat. I've always felt that Clark Schmidt uses fastball a lot more. Low 30 percentile in his fastball, uses a lot more cutters now and needs to finish. He gets ahead of guys, and the next thing you know, he just does not finish them off. That's why you see the pitch count go up. He starts picking the corners and depth. They obviously need a lot of innings out of him. That 4 1/3, especially with the night game tonight, just won't cut it.
Stephen Kwan leading off, takes a first pitch fastball for a strike on the outside corner. 386 batting average, leads the American League for Kwan. I mentioned the start that the Guardians have gotten off to 9-3, and when you look at their lineup, which we just went through, I mean, there's Jose Ramirez and there's Josh Naylor. 3 and 4 have the power, but the rest of this lineup just kind of puts the ball in play. They'll play a little small ball, and they've gotten off to a great start.
They have, and Kwan, the leadoff hitter, he's a tremendous player. He's really exciting. He gets on the base pass, he'll steal a bag. He's not afraid to lay down a bunt as well. Obviously, won't do it now with 2 strikes. But we talked in the open. You get a chance if the Guardians.
Good start for Schmidt.
That was a good fastball at 93.
Let's take a look at the Yankees defensively. Verdugo in left, Grisham in center, Soto in right, Cabrera back in the lineup at third. Volpe, Torres, and Rizzo round out the infield, and Jose Trevino behind the plate catching Clark Schmidt.
Yeah, you want Ramirez and Naylor if you face those guys, especially when the game on the line. hopefully nobody's on base. If not, especially Ramirez, he's the guy you want to pitch around.
One down brings up Andres Jimenez. Rolls one over. I want to get back to Clark Schmidt though, Nelly, because you know when I watch him and the stuff that he presents every time he takes the mound, you know there's a next step for this guy. There's a next level that he can get to as a starting pitcher.
He's got great stuff, and you know, you look at the last outing, 4 1/3. He's got stuff to go into the 7th inning and complete 7 innings. He's got a good fastball. You just saw that one at 94, 95 slider, cutter, curveball, change. He does. He has the right mix, and it seems like that 5th inning. Once after the 5th inning, it's like a mental block. It's like it's almost like he's so satisfied with, oh, I just got through 5, and a lot of guys are satisfied with going through 5, but it's that tough mentality. Say, okay, I got to give you more. You should be able to go into every single starter, come to the ballpark, say, I'm going 9 today. Yeah. Well, the chances are you're probably not going to do it. But if you have that mentality, I'm giving you 9, then you're probably going 7. If you have, hey, I just want to give him 7. If I can get 7, then those outings wind up being the 5 innings.
So you talk about the mental part, and maybe a situation like this, a day-night doubleheader that you're starting game 1, you know you have to go deep into the game to set up your bullpen for the rest of this game and the next one. As Jimenez just slaps one the other way. A nice piece of hitting with 2 strikes. Big turn at first, and he's going to hold as Verdugo gets it in. So I guess my point is, he's going to go out there and say, I got to challenge the strike zone early and try to get deep in this game.
Well, this is a backdoor cutter that just stayed down. A good piece of hitting by Jimenez and just going the other way. They had him played the pull. Cabrera was way off the line, almost more towards the shortstop hole, and he just slaps it in for a base hit. And that pitch right there, you know, you look at his arsenal. And if you go into, if Clark Schmidt goes in today and say, oh, I have to, you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself, right? You don't want to say, hey, I got to give him 7 innings because we have a game tonight. You have to go out and pitch your game, and we talk about finishing hitters off. You know, he's going to face a lot of lefties. Everything comes into lefties. There's not a whole lot that goes away.
Quickly ahead 0-2 on Ramirez. So when I hear you talk like that, the first thing I think about is change-ups away, a little movement down and
he
away.
Doesn't use it very often, or even a 2-seamer. He shows something to a lefty, because you as a starter and even as a reliever, you would like to have pitches that go both sides of the plate.
Ramirez gets into one. The only question, fair or foul, and that is a foul ball. Yankee fans have seen too much of this. Jose Ramirez, a Yankee killer. Batting average of .356 with 11 home runs, 32 RBIs in all of those regular season games, and he almost added to those totals there.
And that was a slider. 0-2. It's just too good of a slider, and especially down and into a lefty. They're just dropping the head of the bat. Like, here's a situation. Okay, an off-speed pitch that he pulls. Something down and away you would love to see.
Check on Jimenez at first.
I mean, he used to throw a changeup. I mean, he does have one. Doesn't throw it very often, but once he started going to that cutter, you started seeing that more than the slow pitch or a changeup going down the way.
Swing and a miss. Big pitch from Clark Schmidt to get him.
Now he changed the eye level. That slider that he hit, and it was a homer for a foul homer. That was a good curveball. That knuckle curve down and in.
2 down will bring up Josh Naylor, first baseman for the Guardians. Another hitter who's gotten off to a good start. Jimenez taking his lead at first. A guy who will steal the bag. Has thrown 2 already, been thrown out once. Take a look at our game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the New York Yankees. 51 degrees, but it feels like 44. Chance of rain 1%, and that wind out to center field and a little bit towards right. Might be a good day for the lefties. Get one up in that jet stream.
So you're saying there's a chance of rain?
chance, 1% chance. There's always a chance of something happening, Nelly. And there's also a chance that Josh Naylor will have the green light 3-0. Big swing and a miss.
Now this is where 2 outs. Look at 18 pitches so far in the first inning. 2 outs. You don't want to relax as a pitcher. This is where you really need to bear down even harder to get that 3rd out.
This is Naylor with a 2-out walk. Let's take a look at Jordan Baker behind the plate. Hitter-friendly umpire, fewer inside strikes, fewer high strikes on right-handed batters in his 13th big league season.
Not a guy that I would like.
Well, I'm torn sitting up here because I kind of like the hitter-friendly thing, but kind of worked with pitching staffs where I wanted it to be a little more pitcher-friendly. So
I think you have to go that you wouldn't like him. You have to help us out.
That's a good point. 2 down, Tyler Freeman up at the plate. Hot shot towards shortstop. Volpe over to Gleyber Torres. So Clark Schmidt worked himself into a little bit of trouble, able to get out of it. We'll take it to the second. Access exclusive content and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Top of the second inning will be Verdugo, Cabrera, and Trevino against the veteran Carlos Carrasco. 13 games for Verdugo. The numbers starting to get a little bit better. Got off to a slow start. Mentioned that Carrasco spent the last 3 years with the New York Mets, comes back to the Guardians. He really established himself for over a decade after being traded from the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Cliff Lee deal that brought Cliff Lee to Philadelphia. Carrasco came back the other way and really had a nice run with then the Indians and now back with the Guardians. Take a look at StatCast 3D on Carlos Carrasco.
Well, there's his arsenal there. You see the fastball 89, 90, the slider, the curveball, the change. Throws a lot more change-ups now than he used to. Not afraid to double up, sometimes throw 3 and 4 in a row. There's that change-up there. He just didn't get on top of it, got underneath. That's why that ball was up and away.
Verdugo working the count to full. We've seen that the first couple of weeks with the Yankees. A lot of deep counts, and that fastball just misses a changeup, just misses off the plate.
This is a pitch that was called a strike earlier in this count. Nice eye by Verdugo. Changeup down and away. You know, when you're playing in a park like this and the wind's just howling out at right, you have a different approach. You look like Fenway. You see the big wall, and you want to try to go the other way. I mean, if you're lefty, you're pole. If you're righty, what about if it's blown out to right?
Well, in my particular situation, I did not have any pop going the other way, so it would not change my game plan at all. But no, if you're a left-handed hitter, I think it changed more my game plan calling a game. Right. It was like you got Cabrera up at the plate here, Verdugo at first. You're thinking sinkers down and away, changeups down and away. Misses right there with a changeup, and if you're going to throw the fastball in, throw it in off the plate to go back to the down and away. Take your chances maybe on a ground ball double play.
Yeah, make them roll over on the ball, and if you do, like you mentioned, come in, up and in.
Herrera back in the lineup. Left-handed pitchers facing the Yankees 3 games in a row. Aaron Boone talking earlier about how unusual that was. Trevino waits on deck. And to your point before, Nelly, you know, you got a hitter like Cabrera who's swinging a hot bat. You get 3 days in a row where lefties are out there, and then you get a couple of off days. Back in the lineup, checked his swing there. Third base umpire Dan Burzel.
Yeah, John Birdie got the time when the Marlins were at Yankee Stadium at third base.
If you're Bo Naylor behind the plate today, a veteran pitcher like Carrasco has got to be just a pleasure to deal with, right? It's all about location and movement more than the power game that we've seen in our modern game pitching wise.
Yeah, it is. And if you get it for the Yankee side, you notice how many off-speed pitches Carrasco throws. And he does have a high leg kick on the mound, doesn't hold runners real well. You would think there'd be some good possibilities for a stolen base, and maybe right here 3-2.
He's going to pay attention to Verdugo. Nelly, I think this is a situation here. Does Aaron Boone trust Cabrera at the plate, right? You're going to lay off a ball, or if it's over the strike zone, you're going to put it in play and protect Verdugo a little bit.
Well, it's the second time over. You got to go over if you go again to pick him off and get a good jump here.
And there he's on the move. And that's ball 4. The Yankees set up here back-to-back walks in the second.
I just don't think Carrasco has enough confidence in his fastball to throw at 3-2 and challenge hitters.
That'll bring up Jose Trevino, hitting 8th in the lineup.
Now, Flash, I know this is early in the game, and this is a perfect bunt situation, a sacrifice situation. If you're Trevino, you want to make Ramirez, you want to bunt it down the third baseline, and Naylor looks like he's going to crash.
Was not offering to bunt there. Trevino, with that 0.56 batting average, off to a slow start, is grounded into a bunch of double plays early on.
To see the Yankees get some early runs for Clark Schmidt is a perfect opportunity for it.
Doesn't get much better than this. If you're Jose Trevino, you've been struggling a little bit. You get ahead in the count 2-0. You hunt a fastball right here and try to do some damage. Grisham waiting on deck. And 2-1. Hot shot through the hole on the left side. Verdugo around third. He's going to be held up. So the base is loaded. Nobody out here in the second for Trent Grisham.
Well, good at bat. I was really surprised that the Yankees didn't try to sacrifice there, but they trusted Trevino, and he got a four-seamer up. And because there was nobody out, no chance in trying to attempt to score Verdugo from second. Kwan's got a decent arm, at least an accurate arm to home.
Verdugo off of third, Cabrera off of second base, Trevino taking his lead off of first. Trent Grisham getting the start in center field with a big opportunity early on in this one. And Nelly, you mentioned this in the Marlins series. The Yankees had a lot of traffic, a lot of opportunities trying to cash in here.
Yeah, I think that second game, that middle game that they won 3-2, I think it was a 1-for-11 with runners in scoring position.
Hot shot right at short. And that's going to be a 6-6-3 double play. Verdugo will score to give the Yankees the lead, but the Guardians will trade 2 outs for that run.
Now another off-speed pitch down in the zone. It was a good pitch by Carrasco. He had Grisham played well, played him to pull. Rocchio up the middle, just took it himself.
And back to the top of the lineup, Anthony Volpe hitting leadoff again. He flew out to left field his first at bat. Hot shot bouncer back up the middle. Second baseman Jimenez up with it. And Carlos Carrasco worked his way out of some major damage. Yankees on the board, though. They lead 1-0. Yankees. Today's submission comes to us from Lauren, who shared this photo of Theo. Theo is enjoying his first Yankee season, and he looks great. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Clark Schmidt back out for the second with a 1-0 lead. Face Will Brennan, who gets jammed. A looping fly ball. Anthony Volpe settles underneath it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
The cutter in on the hands of Brennan. You see this cut fastball right off the knuckles. Nice job by Volpe staying on that ball. Cabrera was playing in on the grass for that bunt. He had to go back, and the sun's right in the infielder's eyes.
1 down, bring up the catcher, Bo Naylor. Nelly, I'm always drawn to the pitch count at 22 now whenever Clark Schmidt takes the mound, and he gets 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 2nd inning. You start thinking to yourself, okay, let's get the pitch count under control. You think about it early on in every game.
Well, you do, especially now when you have a night game. I mean, you have a day-night doubleheader, and you want to see him go deep in the game. 91 pitches in 4 1/3 his last outing. And right there's a perfect example. Now, he does that. It's easy for a pitching coach to say, hey, you know what, let's stop the Clark Schmidt 2-step, the little thing that he does on the rubber, because a lot of times he gets really quick on the mound. And when he does that step, it's a rhythm thing. It helps him get in sync to throw the ball, but at the same time, you have to make sure you stay back over that rubber.
It's going to be a 1-out walk to Naylor.
And because he's so quick, you can do that, but you also have to be a little slower when you lift that leg. Sometimes he's in that little quick step or that 2-step. Once he lifts that leg, he starts drifting to the plate. You see a lot of pitches up and away, those fastballs to Naylor, up and away. That's because you're drifting towards the plate and you're not breaking your hands, and that's what a lot of guys have problems with. Perfect example right there. And also he has to be aware of coming to a complete stop. There's a lot of times you watch, see, he's already drifting. That ball should be coming out of his glove. Once that leg, and it's so mechanical now. I mean, it's always been, but as far as throwing strikes.
Check swing from Florial.
No matter how high you lift your leg, everybody's different. But once it's reached its peak, before it starts going down, that hand should be coming out of the glove. If it's coming out of the glove, see, you watch, he's drifting. Once that's the peak. It should be out of your glove already, and now your arm's already dragging. And that's why that ball's up and away.
Misses way off the plate, and you know, when our Meredith Marakovitz talked to Matt Blake, he was talking about not pitching to the edges as much, right? Know the situation, pitch to maybe halves of the plate.
Right.
Be a lot more aggressive, trusting your stuff. Swing and a miss from Florial.
And I can understand. I was a pitcher that I hated contact. I didn't want anybody. If you hit it, then it has a chance to get it, find a hole, or I wanted to strike everybody out. You know, and I understand pitchers. Hey, you know, you don't want contact. You want to try to pitch away from contact. But these guys have great stuff.
Good cutter, gets in on the hands.
And as a starter, you want to go. You want contact, because then you're seeing 90 pitches in 7 innings, 90 pitches in 8 innings.
I think back to all the pitching coaches and all the conversations in the dugouts, right? It was like, hey, let's get this pitch count under control when you get your pitcher out on the mound. And as a catcher, I would always think that was first pitch strike. Let's challenge contact and take our chances. Good pitch by Clark Schmidt.
Yeah, after everything hard, the cutter, the fastball, this is a really good knuckle curve on the outside part of the plate. It's a big strikeout right there. And that's a pitch, a big breaking ball that you really have to stay back in order to get that good break like he just got.
Bring up the number 9 hitter, shortstop Brian Rocchio.
Perfect situation. Nine-hole hitter right at it. You know, here you go.
Yeah, I would actually look at this 2nd inning saying, you know, you got 7, 8, 9 that you could really be aggressive with. The walk to Bo Naylor, the 7th hitter, you get the strikeout of Florial, but now behind in the count 2-0.
saying, what are you doing swinging 2-0?
At a ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Kwan waiting on deck. Naylor with a big lead. Schmidt going to deliver it to Volpe, and they're going to get the third out and get out of the inning. Bo Naylor got caught trying to steal a bag. Clark Schmidt on top of it, perfectly thrown baseball to Volpe. And Schmidt works his way out of a little bit of trouble here in the second inning. Hospital of the New York Yankees. Shane Bieber going to undergo UCL surgery, currently on the 60-day IL. A big blow for the Guardians and the Atlanta Braves. Spencer Strider underwent UCL surgery. He will miss the rest of the season. And you're going to see Naylor sliding into Anthony Volpe, and the spikes come up, and it looks like they got him in that right shoulder. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Wrestling, they used to call that the Boston Crab, when you sat on somebody's back and you pull their legs over and you're like, submission, I'm done. You don't usually get spiked that way.
Top of the third, Juan Soto will lead off. He struck out his first at bat against Carrasco.
Could you maybe see the Bernie Williams comparison a little bit as far as taking pitches, working the count?
I can definitely see it, but I don't know if I've ever seen somebody eyeball pitches that are just out of the strike zone like Soto does. And I don't know if that's something that you can work on. I guess it is, but I think that's a gift.
Yeah, it was going through my head. I was like, who's like that? I've never seen anyone like that as far as, and they're on the edges, and he knows that they're a ball.
Well, I mean, you could throw those Yankee lineups that you played with back in the day, how they would wear pitchers down. I was on the other side of that in Tampa Bay, where you had to throw it over the plate. They were not going to expand. They weren't going to help. You get that same feeling with this Yankee lineup with Soto being in it.
Yeah, it's, you know, even more important now because you don't have starters that go deep into the game. I mean, you look in the 90s when you had O'Neill and Bernie and Jeter and all those guys, and how they would wear, like you mentioned, wear down starters, and their pitch count, and 110, 115 then. I mean, through 4 innings, and all of a sudden they're out. And the middle of the bullpens back then, the middle guys, the long guys, they were awful.
You're bringing me back to 1998, the expansion Devil Rays, and I'm catching on that team with a pretty good pitching staff, by the way. It ended up being pretty good. But you felt like you were mentally fatigued by the 5th inning.
Right.
They just wore you down at bat after at bat. Soto works a leadoff walk here in the third.
Well, I know there's been some things said about, why Soto goes up there and look for a walk. I mean, that's his game. And hey, you know what? That's a guy on base. I absolutely love what he does. He does. It's the guys behind him. You know, if he's going to work a walk and he gets on base, it's the guys behind him that needs to do the job. And you have some tough guys. It's a deep, tough lineup to try to navigate through.
Aaron Judge with a double to right field, his first at bat. Well, Nelly, there are always conversations before games when you're going through a pitcher-catcher meeting and how we're going to try to get this lineup out. There would always be one, maybe 2 hitters. Hey, we're going to stay away from this guy. I look at this Yankee lineup now. I mean, you have to go get the guys at the top of the lineup, because if you don't, they're going to take their walks and just set up RBI situations all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Yes.
Check swing. It'll be a foul ball.
You know, Stanton swinging the bat the way he is over his last 4 or 5 games. Yeah, Anthony Rizzo, Verdugo down the bottom. You know, now Cabrera back in there. He's got off to a hot start. It's a difficult time for the opposing team, for the opposing pitching staff.
Carrasco at 46 pitches.
But with that being said, when you're walking as much as the Yankees are walking, you have to capitalize on that. 19 walks, only 2 of those scored in the last series.
Well, Aaron Boone would talk about we're just going to keep creating traffic and eventually it's going to pay off. As Aaron Judge skies this one to left center field. Kwan looks like it's going to be the center fielder. Freeman makes the play. And Juan Soto had a big secondary lead, but he's going to get back in there safely.
Well, let's see if the Guardians look at this. And the center fielder, Freeman, he was really deep in center, and with the ball blowing from left to right, did Naylor come up with the ball? And they are going to take a look at this.
But if you're Naylor, you can't block the path back to first base, right?
Obstruction.
The new rule.
That's that new rule, obstruction, and he did. He blocked
Cleveland is
the path before getting the ball.
So Cleveland is going to challenge this call.
You watch how Naylor, he did not have the ball yet, and he's still blocking the base. So you can't block the base when you don't have the ball. You have to give the base runner a lane.
We're going to take a look at this challenge replay, which is brought to you by Citizens Made Ready.
Now he does tag the base. Now, if this is last year, you know, Soto's probably out, but it's going to be interesting to see what the umpires do here, because technically this should be obstruction.
And I could see what Juan Soto was doing there, trying to get that big secondary lead. Fly balls are going to be an adventure.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. Cleveland retains out.
They overturn it. Aaron Boone's going to go out and get an explanation, and I'm sure Nelly's going to be talking about the obstruction rule.
Right. This is that new rule that you have to have the ball in your glove before you block the base. And clearly, by these replays, Naylor did not have the ball, and he was still blocking the base.
Take another look.
Yeah, you watch it. He does not have the ball. And you got to have the ball in your glove. You cannot block the base.
So a good challenge by Stephen Vogt, the manager of the Guardians. There's the tag that's applied to the base, but again, it goes back to the new rule of obstruction. With 2 down to bring up Anthony Rizzo. He walked his first at bat. Fly ball left field. Kwan raising his glove, trying to shade the sun. He'll make the play. A lot happening in the 3rd inning. Juan Soto not getting the benefit of the doubt on the call.
Yeah, you look at the first base lane, which you absolutely love. It takes away some of the interference calls, or makes it a little bit easier for the umpires. Pitch clock down 2 seconds with men on base. The relievers, when they come back out, you'll see a lot of managers, they'll send the reliever out or the starter out just to warm up, to make sure that bullpen, well, you can't do that anymore. The mound visits make 0 sense. It reduces to 4, but after the 8th inning, if you're already run out of them, you get another one. So it ultimately is 5. And then just where we saw that obstruction, that was, I don't know, maybe more of last year's call then. And there's that right there. The only thing, you know, if Naylor, I know maybe he's reaching his leg back thinking he's got first base and probably didn't mean to block it, obviously. But he was blocking the base before he had the ball.
Yeah, I saw Juan Soto having a conversation with first base umpire Tom Hanahan as he was making his way out to right field. As Clark Schmidt quickly ahead to the number 9 hitter Brian Rocchio, 0-2. Three strikeouts already for Schmidt. Swing and a miss. Number 4 for Schmidt.
A real good pitch there. It says it's a cutter at 92 miles an hour. There you see just a little bit of movement, almost a backup cutter. Just a little bit of spin, but good pitch.
One down will bring up the leadoff hitter Stephen Kwan, who struck out his first at bat. Not an easy guy to strike out.
Cabrera in on the grass at third. Kwan has great speed.
Swing and a miss, and again quickly ahead 0-2. Jimenez waiting on deck. Kwan with that batting average now at 379, couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. Came into the day leading the AL in batting average.
Tried that backdoor cutter, and with Kwan, he loves to go the other way. You always have to watch for something down and away. That was a good pitch up in the zone. You want to try to make him pull you and get it inside.
Another swing and a miss made Kwan look bad on that knuckle curve down and in. 5th strikeout, two outs here in the 3rd.
Well, good combination. He goes up and away with a cutter at 91, then he drops that knuckle curve. Look at it, right down on the back leg of Kwan.
That's the 5th Yankee strikeout. Is brought to you by Audi and the 2024 Audi Q5. Visit your local tri-state Audi dealer today. First pitch fastball right down the middle to Jimenez. I love that, Nelly, with 2 quick outs. Come right after this guy and keep Jose Ramirez waiting on deck.
Yeah, this is his best inning, obviously, so far. He's pounding that strike zone, and he's finishing guys off. You get ahead 0-2 here. You can have a waste pitch, but only if you're trying to set up the next one. You want to try to finish him off in these next 2.
See what he goes with here. 0-2. Little cutter in on the hands.
This would be a perfect opportunity. Again, we talked about the fastball usage. Doesn't use it. I mean, this would be a great opportunity. A nice 4-seamer up around his letters or shoulder high.
Swing and a miss. So a perfect 3rd inning for Clark Schmidt. 3 strikeouts. We're through 3 in Cleveland. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Gleyber Torres leading off the 4th inning, and a very early disclaimer by our producer Troy Benjamin, getting it out of the way at the top of the 4th inning. We don't have to worry about it now the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, it takes the thought process right out of it, especially with 2 games.
Carrasco quickly ahead 0-2. Gleyber with a fly ball to center field, his first at bat. .189 batting average for Gleyber, looking for that first home run. There's a solid base hit to left field. Good job at 2-strike hitting.
There's a really poor slider from Carrasco. Nice job by Torres. You see this is supposed to be down and away. It was down and in, and Torres dropped ahead of the bat with a base hit.
You think about Gleyber's spring training, everything went right for him offensively in spring training. He was locked in from day 1, and then you start the season and you get off to a slow start and you try to find it. You feel like you're playing catch up, so that line drive should help him.
You know, going to spring, I always felt the spring training, it was a different season. For pitchers, it was always hard to set up hitters, right? I mean, hitters, to me, I always felt like, oh, they're looking dead red first couple swings. They don't want to get breaking ball counts. You guys have to get into a rhythm. You want to see fastballs right away. how tough was that process going from spring to as a hitter into the regular season, knowing you probably had a different approach as well?
Yeah, you know what? It changed every spring. There were spring trainings that I would go to, and like I felt great from the first spring training game, and would take that into the beginning of the season. But the worst case scenario, as that ball is blocked off the other way by Verdugo, Torres around second, he'll cruise into third, and Alex Verdugo with a double. Yankees creating more traffic here in the fourth inning.
Well, how about an excuse me inside out swing by Verdugo? You watch where this fastball is, in on his hands, and he just goes the other way. Nice job. They're playing in the pool, the Guardians. Right there you see Ramirez. He's off the line at third base. Nice piece of hitting by Verdugo. The Guardians will bring the infield in. I almost said it.
Cabrera takes a first pitch fastball for a strike.
I was going to say, I'm saying Cleveland the whole way, and I almost did it.
You've done a nice job through 4. Hang in there. Got a long day ahead of us. John Flaherty with Jeff Nelson and Meredith Marakovitz. Yankees trying to get something going here in the fourth inning. Second and third, nobody out. Infield in for the Guardians. And as Cabrera's up there, it makes us think about DJ LeMahieu and his road back. Meredith, do you have anything on DJ?
Well, Flash, he's actually on the road trip. He was here at the ballpark the other day when they got rained out. Aaron Boone said he is moving pretty well now, extremely encouraged. He's been doing some defensive drills, hitting in the cage, also running the bases. Doesn't have a date on when he'll start a rehab assignment, but he certainly seems to be trending in that direction.
Well, good news for the Yankees, good news for DJ, and you'd expect a veteran player, once he goes on that rehab, he dictates the action. You know what? I feel good with my at-bats. I'm ready to come back. So no exact timetable yet.
Well, nobody out. Usually you wait for that ball to go through the infield before you break for home if you're Torres over at third.
Be a 3-2 to Cabrera. Swing and a miss. Big out for Carrasco.
Cabrera got a fastball. It was just a sinking fastball up and away. Real good movement from Carrasco. Again, not overpowering with that fastball, but he does have a lot of movement on it.
With one down, I'll bring up Jose Trevino. Had a base hit his first at bat in the second inning.
Now with one out, you see teams all over baseball now with one out. They're going on contact.
Infield still in for the Guardians. Always felt Nelly when I was struggling at the plate a little bit, these situational hitting opportunities really help because it got your mind focused on middle of the field, get the ball in the air. Worst case scenario, sac fly. It's underneath that one, and that's going to find the seats.
Do you ever feel that the infield's like right on top of you and you're like, oh, they're too close. They're too close for me.
You felt them breathing on you, but like I said, the approach always is get the ball in the air, right? Let's try to drive one to the middle of the field. And I always felt like if I was struggling mechanically, that had an opportunity to get me back on track. See what Carrasco does here. 3-1 count, first base open. Grisham on deck. Good slider in there for a strike. There's that little cat and mouse. Trevino hunting a fastball. Carrasco, the veteran, drops a slider.
You got to think that if he's going to throw a 3-1, he may throw a 3-2, something soft and probably away.
Two. Fouled off. Carlos Carrasco, back in his heyday, in his prime, would throw about 93, 94 miles an hour with a good action on his two-seamer. Now he's hanging right around 90 miles an hour with the fastball. That one is fouled off. The reason I bring that up, Nelly, he would run the fastball in on your hands back when he had a little more velocity. Now he's more finesse, pitching to the edges and using your aggressiveness against you if you're Trevino here.
Yeah, and I think in these situations later in his career, he stays away from his fastball. He's only thrown one fastball in this sequence, and this will be the 8th pitch.
Hot shot, pulled foul.
Another off-speed pitch. That was that changeup. That's 2 in a row.
Advantage always goes to the hitter. The more pitches that you can see. Pitch count at 70 for the game. This is going to be the 20th pitch of the 4th inning for Carrasco. See who wins this battle. Fouled off again. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat to Trevino.
Yeah, you look at this bat, everything off speed, curveball, changeups, and Trevino really, it's got to be hard to stay back. He looks like he's trying to pull everything.
That ball misses up and in. Good at bat for Trevino. Bases loaded for Trent Grisham again.
Go out and have a little conversation with Carrasco. Yeah, it was a great at bat by Trevino. Carrasco's last outing only lasted 3 innings, 78 pitches. He's already at 72 here in the 4th. He's only got 1 out.
Longtime pitching coach Carl Willis out to the mound, give him a little breather. Grisham with a big opportunity in the 2nd inning, hit it into a double play where the Yankees were able to get on the board.
It'd be a good time to get your first Yankee hit.
Grisham wearing the sunglasses. He's had limited playing time early on. Torres off of 3rd. Verdugo takes his lead off of 2nd. Trevino off of 1st. And Grisham up in a big spot here. Bases loaded, 1 down for the number 9 hitter for the Yankees. Always felt like as a backup player, you know you're not going to get a lot of hits during the year. You want to get the big ones, those big opportunities that present themselves. Hot shot to 1st. Naylor to short. Back over to 1st. And another double play for Carrasco to work his way out of big trouble in the 4th.
3rd inning for Clark Schmidt. He goes a cutter outside. A knuckle curve down and in, and another cutter up to Rocchio. That's how you do it. That's how you strike out the side. Outstanding inning for Clark Schmidt.
On to the 4th inning for Schmidt. He will face Ramirez, Naylor, and Freeman. Ramirez struck out in the 1st inning, one of the 6 strikeouts for Clark Schmidt on the afternoon. Popped up. Looks like Glaber's going to settle underneath this one. 1 down. Well, you take a look at pitches by innings for Clark Schmidt. He's gotten better as the afternoon has moved on. 20 in the 1st, 15 in the 2nd, only 13 in the 3rd. Threw 11 strikes in that 3rd inning, only 2 balls. And he'll face the cleanup hitter Josh Naylor.
And you go back to that inning in the 3rd inning, and we talk about how great his stuff is and how efficient he can be when he attacks the strike zone. It's a perfect example of it, that last inning, and that was a good 2-pitch at bat to Ramirez. You get him with a cutter inside. You know, if you're Clark Schmidt, you got to tell yourself, hey, if I'm in the strike zone, I can get outs, and I don't need to throw. 20 pitches an inning.
They're behind in the count here, 3-0 to Naylor. Look, a lot of these Guardian hitters, they have limited at bats against Clark Schmidt. Rio's in there for a strike. Went with a knuckle curve to get a swing and a miss.
Yeah, behind 3-1. How about that? Naylor thinking he's getting a fastball way out on his front foot. What are you calling here after that knuckle curve?
Well, I was just thinking Naylor is so wide open now for that little fastball in the inside corner. We know that Clark doesn't like to throw that a lot, but after that big slow knuckle curve, went with another knuckle curve that missed down, and so a 1-out walk for Naylor.
Well, not a bad idea. He was kind of hoping that was going to be more in the strike zone.
With 1 down, to bring up Tyler Freeman. Grounded to short, his first at bat. Clark Schmidt is a perfect guy to talk about how the game has changed from a pitching standpoint. I mean, there used to be a time where you say, okay, establish your fastball first time through the lineup, then you start spinning some breaking balls. Now in the modern game, as this is rolled right back up the middle, Volpe on top of it is going to be a 6-6-3 double play. So Clark Schmidt very solid through 4. The hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. You see the numbers for Anthony Volpe, the batting average, second in the American League, runs with 11 runs, has gotten off to a fantastic start to his sophomore season in the big leagues. 442 on base, the 1.2 WAR. You see Bobby Witt Jr. with a 1.5 WAR, and Stephen Kwan with his elevated batting average.
Well, the major difference I notice, if you notice, look at last year, that front foot, he's got a big leg kick. That front foot always in the hip, always flew open. This time, this year it doesn't. See how it stays more closed. It seems like he's more on the baseball longer and can pick that outside part of the plate. Before, you could cut the plate in half, and that outer half you pretty much owned Anthony, and this time he covers more of the plate by staying closed a little bit longer.
Batting leadoff for the second game. Had a couple of walks and a base hit his first time leading off. 0 for 2 this afternoon, but in the driver's seat here with a 3-1 count. Hot shot right center field. Brennan on the move and makes an unbelievable sliding catch to rob Anthony Volpe of extra bases.
Well, I thought that was getting in a gap. Looked like Brennan had a really poor jump, and he goes down to one knee, and he does. He makes a great catch right in the palm of his glove.
Well, we mentioned the Guardians have to do the little things, playing small ball offensively, but a very good defensive ball club. Great play by Brennan there. With 1 down, bring up Juan Soto. Oh for 1 with a walk in the third. Saw there's some action in the Guardians bullpen.
So if you're an umpire with Juan Soto up there and he questions you on a strike call, you're probably saying to yourself, oh, he's probably right. I believe that one.
It reminds me when he talks to the umpires. When I used to be behind the plate, and one of my favorite umpires was Jim Joyce, and we used to talk about pitches that were maybe I thought were strikes, he thought were off, and the greatest response that he gave was, if you liked it, I'm going to take another look at it next time when it hits that spot. And I always think about that with Soto. If he questions an umpire, I'm sure the umpire is thinking, okay, I got to take a better look at this one next time.
Yeah, that first pitch that he saw, that slider was out of the zone, and you could see the facial expressions. I don't know about that. This is what makes Soto so tough as well. A 2-2 count, and Carrasco a couple of really good curveballs. And that last pitch was a sinker down, and he fouls off tough pitches. He fouls off tough pitches to get a pitch in the zone. The pitcher winds up making a mistake.
Hot shot to second base. Jimenez up with it. 2 quick outs here in the 5th for Carrasco. There's the breakdown of the 85 pitches. And with 2 down, will bring up Aaron Judge, DHing this afternoon. 1 for 2 with a double and a fly ball. A big swing and a miss on a first pitch slider. Hot shot right back up the middle. Base hit for Aaron Judge with 2 outs. Hey fans, last season's Aaron Judge number 62 bobblehead giveaway that was rained out has been rescheduled for Saturday, April 20th. So come see the Yankees take on the Rays, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive an Aaron Judge number 62 bobblehead, the second of a 2-part collectible set, courtesy of TikTok. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Well, it looks like that's going to do it for the afternoon for Carlos Carrasco. Stephen Vogt's going to make a call to the bullpen. Live stat overlay. Play along with cash prizes and earn Yes rewards to redeem for gift cards and gear. Download now, and remember that if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free, or sign up for a subscription. Nick Sandlin takes over for the Guardians. See his numbers on the year, off to a good start.
Side armor. Fastball 91-92. A lot of sliders. That first pitch there to Anthony Rizzo was a slider, and he also throws a split from the side.
Popped up. So who's going to settle under this one? Looks like it's going to be trouble, and it finds some grass as Anthony Rizzo will pick up a 2-out base hit. We talked about the sky. We talked about the wind. Every pop-up or fly ball is going to be an adventure.
Well, there you see Ramirez. He was playing deep at third. I think he was just looking for help. I'm a little surprised that Naylor, who was holding on Judge, didn't come in and catch that ball.
So the Yankees get a gift. We'll see if Gleyber Torres can take advantage of it. 1st and 3rd, 2 down. Yankees lead 1-0, trying to add on here in the 5th.
Sandlin tough on righties from that arm angle. A lot of sliders away, fastballs in. Hasn't given up a hit yet this year to a righty.
This was a situation last year where Gleyber was really on top of his game. A big hole between 1st and 2nd, an RBI opportunity. He would just shorten up and take that base hit the other way. Pick up a hit, pick up an RBI. And he rolls this one over to 3rd. Ramirez over to Jimenez at second base. So the Yankees threaten again, but just can't push any across. They lead 1-0. Yankee. This Yankee with 3-time All-Star, 305 home runs, 2 World Series championships, played for the Braves, Indians, Yankees, and A's. We will have that answered for you a little later on as Clark Schmidt back out to work the bottom of the 5th inning. Has only given up 1 hit. Face Will Brennan, Bo Naylor, and Esteban Florial here in the 5th. Clark's first 2 innings, 15 balls, 20 strikes for 35 total. His last 2 innings, 7 balls, 17 strikes, 24 pitches in total. Has been filling up the strike zone the last couple of innings.
Well, he's got to show himself that if he attacks the zone, he's got the stuff to get anybody out.
Six strikeouts already. You have any idea on Name the Yankee?
Yeah, I do. I'm not really good at that stuff. You know, I really don't have the patience to be thinking that hard about all these guys, but that was a pretty easy one.
Who was really good at it is Aaron Boone, as Brennan fouls this one off.
How'd he do with this one?
I think this one was pretty easy for Aaron, and I think you were a teammate of the Yankee?
I was.
I think I was a teammate, but a little different business, in the TV business.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot. Are you good at that? Did you know?
No, I'm terrible.
Oh.
Terrible. Swing and a miss. 7 strikeout already for Clark Schmidt. 1 down here in the 5th.
Really good knuckle curve, and that's been a great pitch for him, especially against the left-handed hitters of the Guardians. Right to the back leg of the lefty, and it's a big knuckle curve, a real big break to it. Really tough to lay off of if you're a lefty.
Here's Bo Naylor. He walked his first at bat. Bo is the brother of Josh Naylor, the cleanup hitter and first baseman this afternoon. Pretty special to have 2 brothers playing on the same club in the major leagues. Actually homered in the same inning not too long ago. I would say Josh Naylor, the more energetic brother. Bo, a little bit more reserved, catcher behind the plate.
I would say that. A little rock the baby when he hits the home run.
Yep. Garrett Cole. Nelly, this is where you start thinking about it, right? This will be the 70th pitch coming for Clark Schmidt. He's been fantastic with 7 strikeouts, only 1 hit against. He's got it all working this afternoon. And you start thinking, how many outs can he get us in this game? Try to save that bullpen for this one and possibly the nightcap.
Well, he's been controlling the strike zone over the last couple innings.
There's a 1-out walk. We got our Audi electric moment. We just talked about it. The Naylor brothers hitting a home run in the same inning. First, it's going to be Josh. No doubt about that one. Deep into the Guardian bullpen, and there's Bo. Just a little bit off to the left of center field. Your Audi electric moment.
Well, Josh is easy to see. It was a no-doubter, but I think maybe Bo might have got him over there. 400 mark. Little sibling rivalry, huh?
One down to bring up Esteban Florial. Jose Trevino sees something that he doesn't like and have to go out and have a talk.
Well, you know, the one thing that Clark Schmidt, and that is another, it isn't a rule, but they were told the umpires need to start the clock a lot earlier, because if you notice last year, pitchers, they'll walk around the mound, and usually the umpires will start the pitch clock when they get on the dirt. And Clark Schmidt's one of those guys that as soon as, if he doesn't like what he did, whether it's mechanical or whatever, he'll walk around the mound in the grass. He's got to watch doing that now, because they'll start that pitch clock right away, and before you know it, he's got 5 seconds when he's on the rubber. Right. So by Trevino going out there and talking to him a little bit settles him down, because usually he can settle himself down when he walks in that grass, but he doesn't have that opportunity this year.
Swing and a miss from Florial.
And you have the bottom of the Guardians lineup, and this is where you attack it right here. You know, you're going to see the 3rd time around when Quan gets up. This is where you buckle down. You get through this 5th inning right here.
That swing and a miss was the 13th on the afternoon for Schmidt. And Nelly, and I'm not saying that this is the case with Clark Schmidt, but we both have played with starting pitchers that you have a lead and you start thinking, if I can get through 5 innings, I know the win isn't as important now as it used to be, but you put yourself in line for winning a ball game. It becomes a thought in the 5th inning for a lot of pitchers.
You're absolutely right, and you know, you have to have the mindset that I'm going to do it myself. You know, you guys sit down there, I'm taking control, and it's hard to find those type of pitchers anymore. Like Garrett Cole was a guy.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going as deep as I can. You're not taking the ball out of my hand. If you're trying, forget it. Just sit back in the dugout. But this is the part of the game, and it happens with a lot of pitchers. It's that mental block once it hits the 5th inning. And even though you mentioned that the wins don't mean a lot anymore, I still think, as an ex-pitcher, I'd like to see a W next to my name and look in the stats, say, hey, I got a great record.
That's going to be a walk to the number 8 hitter, Florial. Check out our FanDuel's live same-game parlay. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when they place a $5 bet.
I think Matt Blake's going to go out and have a conversation. He may get up the bullpen, and you're going to go back, and Clark Smith's going to go back in the start. However this inning turns out, he's going to have to say to himself, you look at the 3rd, you look at the 4th, and how you just cruise right through.
Dominated.
Why can't you do that in your innings? Because you have the stuff to do it. I mean, it's a little different if you didn't have the stuff that he has. Then you can say, okay, I can understand, give me 5, and if you can barely get through 4. But he has the stuff to get you deep into the ballgame. It's just between the ears a lot of times now.
So Gonzalez getting his gun hot in the Yankee bullpen. This inning, 10 balls, 7 strikes. And we always have to bring it up. Pitch count now at 76 for Clark Schmidt, where he's had some problems. Nelly, you mentioned 3rd time through the order as Quan is waiting on deck.
Yeah, he had 59 going into this inning. Very efficient, and that's what you want to see. And you've almost thrown 20 this inning, and you've only gotten 1 out.
And the bottom of the lineup, too, the 7-8 hitters you walk to create a little stressful situation here for Clark Schmidt as Brian Rocchio, number 9 hitter, takes that sinker for a ball.
When you take a deep breath and mechanically you have to dial it back in. Don't get too quick. Stay back.
2-0.
That's a perfect example right there. That elbow starts dropping, and it's almost, is he getting tired at this point? Because the first thing you look is if that elbow, that right elbow drops, and everything, you're underneath everything, and everything starts getting up in the zone, and you're wondering, okay, you have 70-some pitches here. Are you getting tired?
Rocchio in the driver's seat, 2-0 count, fastball count. And that's a ground ball to second base. That could be exactly what Schmidt needs. 4-6-3 double play, a huge pitch for Clark Schmidt. Yankees lead 1-0. Career home runs ties Hideki Matsui, most by a Japanese-born player. Carlos Correa left last night's game with an oblique strain. Moncada is out 3 to 6 months with a left abductor strain. See Bob and Jack on the post-game show, and then we'll see them later on in the pre-game show, and then we'll see them later on in the post-game show. So a long day for everybody at the Yes Network. Alex Verdugo leading off the top of the 6th. Yankees lead this one 1-0. And that's a looper down the left field line. Verdugo around first. He's going to try for second. Quan with the strong throw, and Verdugo beats it. Leadoff double here in the 6th.
Well, another great out bat by Verdugo. There you see that sinker from Sandlin. Starts on the inside part and breaks out over the middle. Nice job of going the other way for a leadoff double. Lefties have a little bit easier time off of sidearmers. They see the ball a little bit longer. Great hustle by Verdugo. Another runner in scoring position. The Yankees today 1 for 7.
Cabrera squares the bunt, fouls it off. Aaron Boone trying to play a little small ball here, try to get Verdugo to third, less than 2 outs.
left some breathing room right here. Double plays for the Guardians. He's bailed them out.
Ramirez in on the grass at third. Naylor in on the grass at first. Cabrera not bunting. Beatty warming up. The left-handed hitter Cabrera just get the bat head out, try to drill one to the right side of the field. Get Verdugo to third base. Well, he gets the bat head out all right, and this is deep to right field and gone. A two-run shot for Oswaldo Cabrera, who continues his hot start to the season. Third home run of the year, 10th RBI, and the Yankees lead this one 3-0.
Well, you get a little breathing room, right? Outstanding at bat. That was the first home run the Guardians have given up as a bullpen.
Smiles in that Yankee dugout. Verdugo started it with the opposite field double. Cabrera gets the bat head out, drills his third home run of the year. Jose Trevino with a single and a walk already this afternoon.
So important, those tack-on runs at the end of the game. You don't want to keep the opposing team hanging around. The Yankees had plenty of opportunities to break it open.
Fly ball to center field. Freeman coming in, and it looks like it'll be the right fielder Will Brennan who took over again. That wind blowing out to right field, and Cabrera took advantage.
It's a high sinker from Sandlin. You watch Cabrera, he just gets right on top of this baseball. Tried to jam him with that sinking fastball, and it came out over the middle of the plate and up.
Oswaldo Cabrera made it to the big leagues with a reputation of barreling it up in the minor leagues. He's gotten back on track this year. You love about that too, Nelly. DJ LeMahieu goes out with an injury. You get a younger player who gets an opportunity to get a lot of at-bats at the beginning of the year. And you and I both know when that opportunity presents itself, you better be ready to take advantage, and he has.
Right, and they went out and made a trade for John Birdie as a backup, a very veteran utility guy that can play everywhere, and that's also telling you, hey, you know, I'm going to make the best of this opportunity, and you got to like his at-bats during this game, especially at Homer. He hasn't played in 5 days.
Yep.
Didn't play at all against the Marlins, and then 2 days off.
Well, he just looks like a different hitter. Here's a number 9 hitter, Trent Grisham. Grounded into a double play in the second, grounded into a double play in the fourth.
You go from getting 500-600 at-bats in the minor leagues, and spring training you're hitting all the time as well, and then all of a sudden you come up to the big leagues and you're a utility guy at his age, a young early 20s, and you're asked, hey, come off the bench, and when we need you once or twice a week, you got to produce.
Yeah, it's a good news, bad news situation, right? You're so versatile that you're going to be a valuable part of our team because you can play anywhere defensively. And we know that he's a switch hitter that now is hitting predominantly from the left side majority of the time. But the bad news is you get rolled as a backup player. And the at-bats are limited. Grisham underneath this one. See if it stays fair or finds a seat. Brennan underneath it. Not going to have a play.
That's what you get for being able to play well at all positions. Should have just locked one down and then say, okay, this is it. I'm not playing anywhere else.
But I think there are so many players, 3 home runs in 10 games, 11 in his first 159. But there are so many players that they look back on their career and say, you know what, when I got my opportunity, I took advantage of it. Or on the flip side, I got an opportunity and I wasn't ready or I didn't produce, and that opportunity never shows up again. So good for Oswaldo. Big swing and a miss. 2 down. Looks like that's going to do it for Nick Sandlin. Stephen Vogt out to make a pitching change. Morgan will be making his way into this game. Yankees lead 3-0.
Great up he is this year. You see the hands are a little bit forward. You'll see the front foot is a huge difference. It's more flat. You see the hips. The bat was crooked last year. It's more of a power swing, and the weight is distributed evenly this year compared to last year. You know, last year the front hip really opened up, and that leg kick really susceptible to the outside pitch. This year he's covering the outside pitch a lot better. That last at bat that he hit in that right center field gap that Brendan make a heck of a catch on. He's probably not getting to that pitch last year. That down and away fastball or even breaking ball.
Eli Morgan taking over for the Guardians with 2 outs here in the 6th. Oh for 3 for Anthony, 2 lineouts and a ground out.
Morgan fastball 92-93, slider changeup.
Ferguson now getting loose in that Yankee bullpen. 3 runs for the Yankees on 8 hits. Nothing for the Guardians, only 1 hit.
I think that's it for Schmidt. 79 pitches. You think they'll try to get another inning out of him, especially with a 3-run lead?
Boy, you would love to, right? And these are the highest averages in the AL this year. Pretty good list for Anthony Volpe to be on. Well, a lot of things come to mind when you bring that up, Nelly, right? 3rd time through the lineup, pitch count over 75. But there's also got to be some consideration for a lot of innings to cover today, your pitching staff.
You don't see too many guys throw in a day-night doubleheader in both games. Usually you see 1 and then they're done.
Well, the 3-2 to Volpe. That misses off the plate, down and away, so a 2-out walk for a guy who can steal a base.
A great eye, and there's that pitch down and away that last year no chance in trying to handle, but this year he sees it better.
Two down to bring up Juan Soto. 0 for 2 with a walk in the 3rd. Mentioned Volpe's speed. 3 stolen bases on the year. Has been thrown out once. Was a tough situation for Bo Naylor behind the plate. You have a pitcher who's paying attention, Anthony Volpe, and as a catcher you appreciate that. But you also have this guy at the plate, Juan Soto. Could make this a 5-0 game with 1 swing of the bat.
That was a slide step from Morgan. The first pitch, it was more of a leg kick. He tried to mix it up a little bit. And with 2 outs, if you're on the mound, you try to concentrate on getting the hitter. You really do. If Volpe wants to steal, go ahead, get the bag. I got to get this guy out the plate.
Yeah, Juan Soto thinking, pay attention to Volpe because I'm the one who can do some damage, as lays off a changeup.
And because you're worried about the runner so much, you wind up walking Soto, and then guess who's on deck? Aaron Judge.
Another throw over. There goes Volpe. The throw from Naylor on the shortstop side. Another stolen base for Anthony Volpe, number 4 on the year.
A great jump. And Morgan went over twice. It was that disengagement rule. Outstanding jump. Gets that little hop before he goes. Almost over slides the bag. His whole body stayed on the bag. You'll see those middle infielders, they'll keep that tag on as long as possible.
Here's a 3-1 to Soto. Good changeup in there for a strike. Swing and a miss. Morgan gets Juan Soto to end the 6th inning, but the damage has already been 5:30. Remember, if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free or sign up for a subscription. We will have you covered all day. Yankees versus Guardians. Yankees lead this one 3-0, and Clark Schmidt back out there for the 6th inning with his pitch count now at 80. Third time through the lineup, Stephen Kwan, Andres Jimenez, and Jose Ramirez against Clark Schmidt. As Kwan loops one the other way, that's going to be a soft base hit, only the 2nd of the afternoon for the Guardians.
Well, Kwan struck out twice on that knuckle curve. Probably going up there again, looking for that pitch to see if Schmidt would throw it to him, and he got it. First pitch knuckle curve to get me over. And just got enough of it to hit it into left field for a base hit.
Bring up the second baseman Jimenez hitting second. You know, Kwan has plenty of speed. Don't know if they'll be running down 3 as Jimenez fouls that first pitch off. Five innings, 2 hits, has not given up a run, has walked 5, but has struck out 7.
If you're Schmidt here, you got to realize you have a 3-0 lead. The running game may be shut down. You cannot worry about Kwan. You want to attack the hitter.
Good job there, getting ahead in the count. 0-2. Last thing Clark Schmidt or the Yankees or Yankee fans wants to see is that man up at the plate with a couple of runners on. He has been a Yankee killer throughout his career. The 0-2 misses badly off the plate. Jimenez, guy with a couple of gold gloves, had the platinum glove last year. The batting average right now at .333 with 7 RBIs on the young year. Hot shot between the hole, first and second. That's going to be a base hit. Kwan into second, Jimenez at first, and the dangerous Jose Ramirez coming up to the plate. But Aaron Boone is going to make a pitching change. It gave Clark Schmidt an opportunity to work his way through the 6th inning. Back-to-back base hits. It'll be a call to the bullpen.
Yeah, this is tough. You know, that was just a pitch. Everything started leaking up in the zone. That was a cutter up, and you would love to see him finish off 6, especially with the game tonight.
And by Bet365, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And by Hyundai, it's your journey on every mile in a brand new Hyundai. Some of the great Indians back in the day, great Yankees. The name has changed. They're now the Guardians, but still one of the Most spectacular ballparks in the major leagues as Caleb Ferguson takes over. It'll be his 6th game. That impressive ERA of 1.80 in the 5 innings that he's worked.
Yeah, big time fastball and a slider. He'll hit the upper 90s with that fastball. And this is a situation, Flash, we were talking about earlier. If there's anybody in this lineup you do not want to beat you, and it's Ramirez, and now you have no choice but to face him.
Ramirez 0 for 2 against Clark Schmidt from the left side. He now moves over to the right-handed batter's box. First and second, nobody out. First pitch strike from Ferguson. Versus lefties 231 versus righties 279. Guardians off to a 9-3 start. It has been mentioned that this weekend will be a good test to see where they stack up against a good team, the New York Yankees, at a 10-3 record.
Good fastball right there from Ferguson. 94 away and up. Just tipped into Trevino's glove.
And the 1-2 fouled off.
And that's the pitch you got to be careful of, the slider down and in. Make sure you do get it down, maybe even bounce it. You don't want to leave that out over the plate or up a little bit that Ramirez could just drop the head of the bat. You might want to go fastball up, maybe get a swing and miss up around the shoulders.
I'm thinking the same way that you are. He's such a bad ball hitter, Ramirez is. Elevate a fastball and see if you chase. Swing and a miss. Big out for Ferguson.
See, every once in a while we will think alike. You put the right finger down.
Not often.
Good fastball, 95. It could have even been up higher and you would have got the same result. Nice pitch. Big out.
Big out to get the dangerous Jose Ramirez. Now it's going to be Josh Naylor. Left on left situation for Ferguson.
If you're Naylor, you're probably thinking, I've got to look for fastball somewhere in. He wants to turn on it. And if you're Ferguson, you're going fastball away. Make him roll over.
Kwan off of second. Jimenez taking his lead off of first. Plenty of speed on the bases for the Guardians. And an old manager of mine, Sparky Anderson, told me all the time, the scoreboard will tell you how to call a game in this situation. Wind blowing out to right, Yankees up by 3, keep the ball down and away. Take your chances. Anything that you throw on the inner half, make sure it's off the plate inside. If you're Jose Trevino, you're guarding against that one swing of the bat, tying this game up.
And if you do come inside, basically setting up something away, right?
Absolutely. 2-1. There it is, off the plate inside. Check swing, and he did go. Jordan Baker, home plate umpire, all over it.
I don't know about that one, but Yankees will take it.
Well, here you go, Nelly. There's that fastball in. You excite a hitter thinking you're going to throw a fastball on the inner half. Perfect opportunity for cutter or slider away.
Yeah, and you know, he hasn't had success with that slider with throwing a strike. How about maybe a heater away? Heat him up.
Cutter missed down and away, so a full count to Josh Naylor. Kwan is taking a big lead off the second base. Mentioned the speed. Kwan and Jimenez. Good speed on the bases for the Guardians. Clark Schmidt just a spectator now. And that fastball misses in off the plate. Bases loaded. One down here in the sixth for the Guardians.
You know, I just thought Naylor saw his slider, saw Ferguson's slider just way too well. He laid off some nasty ones away. And Ferguson's got a really good fastball. It might have been a missed opportunity just to try something away to see if Naylor would have been aggressive on it. Now you have bases loaded situation.
Tyler Freeman. First pitch fastball for a strike. Juan off of third, Jimenez off of first, Naylor off of second, Naylor off of first, and the Yankees looking for a ground ball, possibility of a double play.
Freeman probably would like to have that one back. That was a fastball on the inner half. He just got underneath of.
And the 0-2 fouled off. Good swing. Fastball right down the middle. Gaddis getting loose.
I think he stayed with his heat, huh? Maybe climb the ladder a little bit. You don't want to speed up his bat. Doesn't look like he's timed that fastball yet. He's been late on it.
Seen that good fastball from Ferguson early on this year. In the dirt, nice play by Trevino to keep it in front.
That was a slider down right off his glove. A lot of confidence in when you have a catcher behind the plate that you know when there's a runner on third that he's going to keep something in front of you if you're going to bounce it.
Freeman, a .286 hitter against left-handed pitching. That's jammed down the left field line and foul. A good battle here between Ferguson and Freeman.
Good backdoor that slider right here. Hasn't had a great feel of it yet. Ferguson with that slider has been good with the fastball.
Jam shot right back up the middle to Gleyber Torres. Steps on second across to Rizzo, and it's going to be a wild throw. And a couple of runs will score for the Guardians. 3-2 Yankees.
Well, this is an easy double play, and every once in a while, Gleyber will get underneath the ball and it goes wild, whether it's to the left side or right side of Rizzo. And there you see he just slings the ball and not even close. And this goes into the dugout or the camera well over there by the Yankee dugout.
Pitching coach Matt Blake going to go out and talk about a pinch hitter. Ramon Laureano will take over for Will Brennan. I wonder if Gleyber would have been better off flipping to Volpe there, right, with his momentum coming across the bag.
Possibly, but to me sometimes, and we've seen some throws from Gleyber at second, even when he goes up the middle. You watch this, he's really close. This has been a tough flip. I think this is him all the way.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just once he drops, you know, he goes from the side, and most of the time he's nice and smooth with that. You know, this is when he just gets underneath the ball and just like slings it.
See here where the ball rolls up in his glove. Maybe that gave him a little tougher time with the transfer. Didn't get a good grip. Whatever the case, 3-2 Yankees. Freeman now at second base. Laureano the pinch hitter. Ferguson with a good first pitch cutter for a strike.
Ian Hamilton up in the Yankee bullpen.
The 0-2 fouled off. One for 13 with 9 strikeouts, career as a pinch hitter. Laureano only 10 at-bats against left-handed pitching this year, has a couple of hits. Be the 22nd pitch for Ferguson coming up. Play by Trevino, keeping it in front.
You know, with it being cold out there, sometimes it does make it a little bit more difficult to get a good grip on the baseball, especially when you're trying to throw an off-speed pitch. I've seen a lot of them in the dirt from Ferguson.
Naylor waiting on deck. Jam shot, right center field. Juan Soto coming in. He'll make the play. But the Guardians add a few runs. Yankees now lead this one 3-2. 5 home runs, 2 World Series. Played for the Braves, Indians, Yankees, and Oakland A's, and he was a teammate of yours.
Yes, David Justice, and he was probably our MVP in 2000. I think we got him like early June or mid-June when he came over to us. What an incredible player. He was a great teammate as well.
Eli Morgan, first pitch fastball to strike to Aaron Judge, and I was a somewhat teammate with DJ on the Yes team.
Yes.
Right? He was doing some work for Yes back when I started.
Bob Lorenz has got a picture of him and David Justice on his desk.
And the numbers in 2000, 305, 20 home runs, 60 RBIs, 3 in the postseason as a Yankee, ALCS MVP. And I'm sure, Nelly, coming back to Cleveland probably brings back a lot of playoff memories for you.
I was in the playoffs 8 years, and I think either 6 or 7 of them we played a Cleveland team, whether it was either in the division series or the ALCS. The 98 team, when we won 114 that year, I think we were behind. We were down 2-1 to them. And then we came back in 6 games.
Used to be Jacob Field back in the day.
Jim Thome, Roberto Alomar, Omar Vizquel, Sandy Alomar.
My rookie year was 1992, and that team was just starting to develop over at Municipal Stadium here in Cleveland.
I remember that.
Kenny Lofton, right? Carlos Baerga, Sandy Alomar, who's been a fixture here in Cleveland forever. 2-2 to Judge, and this is badly off the plate.
David Justice is one of those guys that you hated to play against. When he was in Atlanta, we first started interleague. Him and there was 2 others, and the old Yankee Stadium, the batting cages were all the way down the right field line, and even the weight room, you had to go past the home clubhouse.
Fly ball, deep right field. Mentioned the wind blowing out that way, but this one's going to fall a little short as Laureano settles underneath it for the first out here in the 7th.
Well, this is what kind of player he was.
Justice,
off of Arthur Rhodes.
The 3-1 pitch, which is
The fastball, and he crushed it. Arthur Rhodes was one of those pitchers. He was a teammate of mine in Seattle. Had terrific stuff, but it was something in the playoffs. So he just had a mind block or whatever, and he just didn't pitch well. And I think it was 2 years in a row he gave it up to the Yankees. It was in 2000 when I was there, and then when I was with him in 2001 in Seattle. I forgot who got him. It was late in the ball game. You know, I think it was game 4. We were up 1-0. He came in the 8th inning and gave up a homer. It might have been to Justice again.
There's Laureano out in right field. David Justice was a player when he walked up to the plate as Rizzo blocks one off the other way. Takes a big turn around first. He's going for 2. Kwan, the throw off the mark, and a 1-out double for Anthony Rizzo.
Inside out of that fastball. You watch. You see where Ramirez is playing. They're playing Rizzo to pull, and that gets down the left field line. And Rizzo was thinking 2 the whole way. A good throw might have got him at second, but he didn't stop. He said, "I'm going for 2 no matter what." Puts the head down, and there he goes.
They'll bring up Gleyber Torres. RBI situation. But getting back to DJ, when he walked up to the plate, you could tell this guy had an air of confidence about him, that the big moment was not going to scare him.
No, and when I forgot who was with him, but they were there's 3 guys walked past our locker room as we were coming out to go stretch, and they were going to go down and hit. The other 2 Braves, they said hi to us. DJ said nothing. Just looked at us, didn't nod his head, nothing. And we're like, who the heck's this guy? And then he comes over to us in 2000 and probably one of the best teammates ever.
Pretty good swing for the old Yankee Stadium too.
Good outfielder. He was, yeah. He once he came to us, because it was one of those years, and we just came off of 2 World Series wins, and we weren't getting it going until he came to us. We got him not at the deadline. It was sometime in June that the Yankees acquired him, and once he was there, everything just clicked. You know, it's like Soto in this lineup, how much a difference maker he is. David Justice was the same way back then.
Fouled off right below us. Gleyber 1 for 3, a line out to center field, single to left in the 4th, and a fielder's choice in the 5th. The bullpen has been a strength of the Guardians early on this year. 1.29 ERA, first in baseball. They've been used a lot. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Naylor able to hold on. 2 down.
Now they also have some swing and miss stuff down there as well. They're number 1 in strikeouts, and that was a breaking ball, a slider down and away. Might be it for Morgan.
And with the left-handed swinging Alex Verdugo coming into the plate, Stephen Vogt is going to make another call to the bullpen. It's going to be Herron this time. Yankees lead 3-2. And stream games with a live stat overlay. Play along, win cash prizes, and earn Yes rewards to redeem for gift cards and gear. Download now, and remember that if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free, or sign up for a subscription. Pitcher for the Guardians, Tim Herron, be his 7th game. 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. A good an opponent's batting average against, and he'll face Alex Verdugo with 2 down and Anthony Rizzo on second base. 3-2 Yankees looking to add on. As that gets away from Naylor, Rizzo will cruise into 3rd.
It's a slider down. Naylor just turned his glove the wrong way, tried to backhand with that catch. It hit off his glove and it shoots to the right. You know, Herron, the lone lefty in the Guardians bullpen, 95-96 fastball, slider, curveball.
They ruled that a wild pitch.
guys got to have that pitch.
That is, if you're behind the plate and that is leather, ball on leather, that should be a pass ball.
I'm staring at you, and I wonder what are you doing behind there.
Verdugo having a good afternoon, 2 for 2. And behind in the count now. Aaron, one of those late round draft picks, the 29th round in the 2018 draft. 883rd overall. Here's a 2-2 from Herron. Just fouled off. Good job of spoiling a tough pitch by Verdugo. Cabrera waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. Herron gets a job done as they strand Anthony Rizzo at third base. Yankees lead 3-2. We'll take it to one error for the New York Yankees. Jack just already mentioned Clark Schmidt and his numbers. Oswaldo Cabrera, a 2-run shot, his 3rd home run of the year. Carrasco, a representative effort, and Jimenez having a good afternoon. New pitcher for the Yankees, Ian Hamilton. This will be his 6th game. The ERA at 3.24, the 7 strikeouts in 8 1/3.
Well, probably asked to go maybe multiple innings here. He's got great stuff. Fastball and the Slambio?
Slambio.
Yeah, Slambio. There we go. We got the sweeper, the curve, the slider. I've seen a slutter up there. Have you seen the slutter up on the boards? And when's the Slambio coming out? And that's going to be up there soon.
Well, maybe Meredith can help us with that Slambio. You have some more stuff on that, Meredith?
Well, only that it's a filthy pitch for Ian Hamilton, but I did speak to him about throwing multiple innings for the Yankees. With Jonathan Loaisiga out for the season, that's a role that the Yankees need to fill, and it seems as though Aaron Boone has been going to Ian Hamilton in those situations. When I spoke to Hamilton about it, he said the toughest thing for him is the recovery. He's not necessarily used to it, but he does feel as though it's a role he could succeed in, and we'll see how this bullpen plays out the rest of the year. But the loss of Jonathan Loaisiga, a big one for that back end of the bullpen.
Yeah, definitely Meredith. Pop up. Looks like Rizzo calling it, and he'll make the play. 1 down, and 3 of Hamilton's 5 appearances this year have been multiple innings.
And it's tough when you are used to just going 1 inning, and in the back of your mind you still have to go out there and think of that. You can't go out and say, hey, I'm gonna I have to give him 2 innings today. What am I gonna do?
Well, it's the up downs now, Nelly, right?
Oh, the up downs.
The up downs.
Oh yeah, we called them something different, but we'll save that for later.
Number 8 hitter Esteban Florial facing Hamilton, and you would assume if Hamilton pitches in this game multiple innings, he'd probably not be available for game 2. As Florial pops this one up. It's going to be Cabrera. It looks like it will be. 2 down. Boy, the wind playing havoc on every fly ball or pop up here in Cleveland.
And that was a really good effort from Cabrera, and that could have easily, you know, Anthony Volpe could have came in and said, hey, I got it. But once you see that as a third baseman or a middle infielder, if you can track it, you're probably best to catch that ball than to hand it over to somebody else.
Number 9 hitter Brian Rocchio. Hamilton misses with a first pitch sinker.
Yeah, the up downs really never used to matter. They never consider that anything. It was just, oh, if you get up once, it doesn't matter how many more times in the bullpen you do. You get up.
Now, you were saying before the game you had no problem pitching both games of a doubleheader.
Well, it was just expected if it was needed. Did it a few times. You know, if it was close, you pretty much, hey, you pitched in the day and pretty much going to be expected to be ready for the nighttime.
I remember a lot of doubleheaders. Mariano closing out both games.
Both games,
yeah.
Yes. And we would even be ready if we had, instead of the day night like they're having today, if you had back to back. doubleheaders.
Kwan waiting on deck. Hamilton behind the number 9 hitter. 3-1. Comes in there with a fastball. That's drilled the other way and deep. That's going to be off the wall. Verdugo up with it. And it'll be a 2-out double for the Guardians shortstop.
Rocchio just got a fastball. There you see how it's up and away, and he just goes the other way with it. Nice job by Verdugo playing that ball off the wall. Just takes that fastball up off that left center field wall for a double.
Good numbers with the runners in scoring position for Kwan at a .400 batting average. He had a base hit his last at bat against Clark Schmidt. Got that 6th inning going for the Guardians.
And this is where you got to watch up and away with Kwan. He likes to go to the left side.
Rocchio taking his lead. It looked like it was going to be an easy 7th inning for Hamilton. Now getting a little stressful with the runner in scoring position, 2 down. Gaddis up in the bullpen again. And the 2-0. That misses up and away.
I would imagine Kwan has a green light here. He's a pretty good hitter.
And that was low. Oh, it looked like it was going to be a strike. Be a little confusion here with the pitch com.
Yeah, I think Baker did catch that a strike. It almost did he cross him up there?
Definitely a cross up.
Probably looking fastball Trevino, and he gets that Schlambio. Hits the bottom of the zone. Usually don't get that called. Pretty tough to cross up on the pitch com.
Here comes the 3-1 to Kwan. And misses off the plate away. So 1st and 2nd, 2 down for Andres Jimenez. And another stroll to the bullpen, or to the mound, for pitching coach Matt Blake.
I think not only are you settling them down, and you're saying, hey, we got 2 outs here, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, especially that little cross up to Kwan when Trevino was expecting fastball, and he got that Schlambio.
Fans, check out and follow Yes Network on TikTok for more content. Looks like everybody's on the same page.
If you're a hitter here, usually after a meeting, a lot of times you'll see first pitch fastball. Let's see what Hamilton comes with here. If you're going to throw a fastball, you throw it down and away, or you throw that slider on the first pitch.
The Guardians have 4 hits on the afternoon. Jimenez has 2 of them. First pitch swinging. Schlambio for a strike.
Yeah, great pitch. You could see that Jimenez, he was going to be aggressive, expecting that first pitch fastball.
Another swing and a miss at another Schlambio. Quickly ahead 0-2.
Stay with it, right?
Make sure it's down and in off the plate, even if you have to bounce it, as the dangerous Jose Ramirez waiting on deck. It's where you make your money if you're Trevino, a defensive catcher behind the plate, being able to block the ball in the dirt with 2 strikes. There you go.
Nice job right there, keeping it right in front of you.
Pulled foul. What are you thinking now, Nelly? You've thrown 4 Slambios in a row.
Well, that one he just fouled off. You know, this is a great opportunity maybe to throw that 96-mile-an-hour four-seamer up. And if you want it up, get it more in. You don't want it up and away. Give him a chance to slap it the other way.
Fouled off. Is that good fastball at 96?
And that's where you want it. You don't want to give him any kind of opportunity, Jimenez, to hit it to left field. That's a perfect pitch inside. Now you can come back and you just change the eye level a little bit. You had the fastball up, now back with that slider. Or Slambio.
Pulled to Rizzo, able to stay down on it. Hamilton across and makes the play. Well, a nice play by Anthony Rizzo, staying down. All those pitching fundamental practice and spring training pay off here in Cleveland. A 2-run shot, exit velo 96.8. It went 352 feet, and a home run in 6 of the 30 ballparks. As Waldo will take it.
That's a difference maker right there.
Hitting from the right side against the lefty throwing Tim Herron. We know that's in a situation that Oswaldo makes a decision on the matchup.
Oh, with Herron, real good curveball, real good slider. Not really take it away, but probably see it a little bit better from the right side.
It'll be Cabrera, Trevino, and Grisham here in the 8th, bottom of the Yankee lineup. And the 2-2. Ground ball to short. Rocchio backhand, the strong throw across the diamond, 1 down. One down to bring up Jose Trevino. Trevino 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Trevino missed all that time last year, missed some time in spring training with the calf issue. Trying to get his timing at the plate. And the 2-0 from Herron in there for a strike. $17,089 fans here for the first game of the day-night doubleheader.
It's more football weather than it is baseball right now.
Well, the good news, Nelly, is there's a lot of sun out there, so it helps out a little bit.
Polar upon.
3-1 fouled off.
Still cold. But you're probably right. If I'm a fan, I'd rather sit in the sun.
Hot shot, and that's just foul. And the 3-2 to Trevino. That's popped up. Jimenez going back. Laureano coming in. They can't see it. That's going to drop. The throw to second, and they're going to get Trevino. Again, every fly ball and pop up here is an adventure this afternoon.
Well, it looked like Jimenez, the second baseman, looked like he saw it well and just got out of the way. You watch, he seems like he goes back on it, sees it well, and then he gets out of the way thinking that the right fielder Laureano was going to come in to make a catch, and then he couldn't pick it up. He was able to get it, throw it down to second base, and they were able to get Trevino.
It's going to be scored a base hit, 9-6. And with 2 down, it'll bring up Trent Grisham, number 9 hitter for the Yankees. Grisham 0 for 3, couple of double plays, as well as a strikeout in the 6th.
It's nasty against lefties. Here, 6-6 out on that mound. He's not given up a hit yet this year, early in the season, to a left-handed hitter.
That ball hit well to center field and deep. Center fielder Freeman up against the wall and makes the play. Grisham gave it a ride, just a little bit short. Yankees lead 3-2. 7th inning.
Yeah, outstanding off of Jimenez. This saves the tying run there at second. Nice job by Hamilton getting over there and getting this throw as well and tagging the base for that 3rd out.
Hamilton back out there for the 8th inning. He'll face 3, 4, 5. Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, and Tyler Freeman. This is as high leverage as you can have. Middle of the lineup for Hamilton. Ramirez 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Three runs for the Yankees on 10 hits, 2 runs for the Guardians on 4. Hot shot to the right side. Rizzo up with a clean. Hamilton over, 1 down.
And a good PFP from the Yankees. Nice job by Hamilton.
Birdie and Holmes getting their guns hot out in that Yankee bullpen. And here's the first baseman, Josh Naylor. 3 walks for Naylor. Swing and a miss. Hamilton quickly ahead 0-2.
That was that good Schlambio from Hamilton. He's got great control of that pitch.
Naylor going to take a timeout. Hamilton came on in the 7th, got 2 quick outs. And a double to the 9 hitter, a walk to the leadoff hitter Kwan, and then was able to get Jimenez to work his way out of trouble. Ramirez a ground ball here to start the 8th. And a swing and a miss, strikeout for Naylor. 2 down for Hamilton here in the 8th.
Well, 2 big outs by Ramirez in here with Naylor. That Schlambio again, he wasn't even close. Swinging over top of that one. That was a big strikeout.
2 down to bring up Tyler Freeman. Hamilton looking to give the Yankees 6 outs, 3 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th. Freeman 0 for 3. Swing and a miss at that Slambio again. It's been a money pitch this afternoon.
You can see the Guardians, the hitters, are having a real hard time picking that pitch up. The fastball has been all over the place on occasion when Hamill's thrown it. That's Slambio, right? That's been nails.
Popped up down the left field line. Verdugo over. And he makes the play. Foul territory. Nice play by Alex Verdugo and a fantastic job by Ian Hamilton. Boone goes over and gives him a little appreciation for the 6 outs. 3 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. So Yankees lead this 3-2. We'll take it to the 9th. A new pitcher, Peter Strzelecki, for the Guardians. It'll be his 2nd game.
Strzelecki, fastball, slider, changeup. Fastball in the low 90s, 91, 92. Mainly a fastball slider guy.
Top of the order for the Yankees, Volpe, Soto, and Aaron Judge. Oh for 3, a walk and a stolen base for Volpe. The Yankees looking to take this first game of a day-night doubleheader. Long day of baseball. Makes it a lot easier if you can take game 1. Just off the plate. Volpe ahead in the count, 3-1. Hot shot the other way. Nice play by Naylor. He's going to take it himself. 1 down in the 9th. With 1 down, will bring up Juan Soto. Juan 0 for 3 with a walk in the 3rd. Strzelecki, a guy who spent last year between Arizona and Milwaukee. He was in 35 major league games last year, going 3-5 with a 4.38 ERA. Part of this impressive Guardian bullpen early on. Ground ball to Jimenez. It'll be an easy play and 2 quick outs for Strzelecki.
Like back-to-back changeups to Soto. And got him out on his front foot.
Looks like it's going to be Clay Holmes in the bottom of the 9th. 2 outs here for Aaron Judge. A double and a single. A hot shot his last at bat, right back up the middle. Coming up, it's going to be Laureano, Naylor, and Florial for the Guardians in the bottom of the 9th. Fly ball. Laureano out and right. Looks like he has this one taken care of in an easy 1-2-3 inning for Strzelecki. It's going to be Clay Holmes in the bottom of the ninth. The pot, and the other half is donated to the New York Yankees Foundation. Buy your tickets now at yankees.com/5050. Bottom of the ninth for Clay Holmes. There are his numbers. His 7th game. ERA impressive, 6 innings, has struck out 3, and he's 5 for 6 in save opportunities.
No, he has to come on to get this save and get this first one for the Yankees. He's got nasty stuff, nasty sinker, slider. His last outing against the Marlins, he was dominant.
A perfect 9th inning with 1 strikeout against the Marlins. He will face Laureano, Esteban Florial. I'm sorry, Bo Naylor and Esteban Florial, and this will be career save number 50 if Clay Holmes can get 3 outs. You think about that, after the trade from the Pittsburgh Pirates, he's in an opportunity here to get his 50th save. Sinker slider for Clay Holmes. That's a deep shot to left field. Verdugo going back up against the wall, not able to make the play. Laureano into second base with a leadoff double. And we were that close to being all tied up.
Well, I think the wind kept it in, and it looked like a fastball up, and it just kept riding in on Laureano. Verdugo, he gets back there, probably thinking the same thing. This might have gone out. Just hits off of that Pepsi sign.
That'll bring up the 7th hitter, Bo Naylor. Naylor, a couple of walks. He does have the 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Check swing, he went.
Good slider right there from Holmes. The first pitch sinker away, slider down.
Esteban Florial waiting on deck.
An opportunity for a good sinking fastball away, about 96.
Another check swing, and he went. A big strikeout for Clay Holmes.
Yeah, he went back with that slider after throwing the previous one in the dirt. And he gets the call. Big strikeout there.
With 1 down, bring up ex-Yankee Esteban Florial. 0 for 2 with a walk in the 5th. Laureano takes his lead off a second. Volpe just trying to keep Laureano close, give the Yankee outfielders a chance on a base hit, a play at the plate. Florial looking for an opportunity here in Cleveland.
Looking for an opportunity to come up big against his old team.
The 0-1. The dirt, nice pick by Trevino. Clark Schmidt started. Ferguson took over. Ian Hamilton pits the 7th and the 8th. Now it's Clay Holmes here in the 9th. Fouled off. Guardians 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position this afternoon. Yankees 2 for 11.
Florial's time with the Yankees. A lot of swing and miss when he got to the big league level. A good opportunity for that nasty slider that he was able to get a nailer on.
Able to lay off that one down and in. Boy, Clay Holmes has him set up for that front hip sinker if he wants to go that way, but the slider's been a good weapon here in the ninth. 2-2. This is down and in again. Where are the outfield arms? Got him on the inside corner. Florial not happy with the call.
Well, Florial got that pitch earlier in the count. This is a really good slider and probably in, but Holmes gets the call. Gutsy pitch in 3-2.
Jose Trevino is known for his framing metrics. That clearly off the plate, but brought it back for strike 3. Recchio ground ball to second base. Gleyber Torres up with it, and the Yankees able to take game 1, a 3-2 victory against the Guardians. Clay Holmes gave up a leadoff double, but rebounded nicely, 3 outs in a row. And the Yankees will take this victory and look forward to game 2 later on tonight.
Yeah, big win for the Yankees to get this first one flash. An outstanding job by the bullpen. Ferguson, Hamilton, and then Holmes picking up the save, and nice clutch home run by Cabrera, getting back in there after being out for 5 straight days.
Fans, stay tuned after the final out for today's WB Mason Yankees postgame and get highlights, analysis, player reaction from the clubhouse. Plus Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up next on Yes and the Yes app. Yankees win game 1, 3-2. We'll be back.